Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode here at WILDMAN Lives. I'm your host, WILDMAN. Now on today's episode, it's a very gloomy morning. There's a lot of clouds overhead, so it's a little chilly outside. I'm going to be doing the log clean and press in giant set format. Really the goal is to see where I'm at with a 1 rep max without any gear on. I'm also going to be doing some windmills, which I'll show you how to do those. I'm doing some running as well in between to make sure that I stay warm, and as the weight gets heavier, I'm nice and primed. So let's jump into today's workout. Let's get started. Now for today's workout, I was doing the log clean and press, and I was going to do this without any gear on. I really wanted to see where I was at and to see if I'm getting any better in my overhead strength. And as I'm going up in weight, I'm also going to be doing some 6-way windmills. They're actually called 3-way windmills, but because you do 3 on each side in this manner, that 3 plus 3 equals 6. So that made more sense to call them 6-way windmills. And then I'm going to be doing some 100-meter shuttle runs where I just shuttle back and forth until I get to 100 meters across my bullpen like this. And by the time I'm done with my whole entire workout, I should have 1 mile of running, just keeping warm in between sets. And that's going to be the giant set for the day. Now, surprisingly on this day, I was actually feeling pretty crampy in my left hamstring. And when it comes to lifting, you do have to listen to your body. Sometimes I get hip pain, lower back pain, shoulder pain, knee pain, and I have to keep an eye on it, and I might need to adjust the workout while I'm going along. And other times they're nagging pains, and it's because my body doesn't want to work anymore. And so it's kind of like, hey, maybe if I give him a little bit of pain, a little bit of discomfort, maybe he'll stop doing it, right? It's your body's defense of trying to do something he doesn't want to do. Once you can differentiate the two between your body just trying to be a whiny little punk and you might actually be flirting with that line of getting an injury, then you'll know when you need to push it and when you don't need to push it. Hey, I know I've ruptured both my biceps, but those are the only 2 injuries that I've ever had. And honestly, that is something that I would take versus other things that I've seen other guys get in the gym. So I do know what I'm talking about when it comes to keeping overall health. And I rarely have any pain as I go throughout my day. And that's just because I train and make sure that I'm balanced and I pay attention to my body as I'm doing workouts to make sure that I'm doing it in as safe manner as possible. But every once in a while, you're going to have to push it. And that's just the way it is. So as I was coming up to my top set here, this shouldn't necessarily be my top set, but because that left hamstring was cramping up, I really felt it cramp up when I locked it out right there with 215 pounds. Now I wanted to go up to at least 225 or 235 today, and I probably had 225 for sure. I'm not sure about 235, but you can see as I'm trying to lift 235 here just on the clean, I get a little cramp in my right hamstring now. So I got both hamstrings cramping up, and that's really just due to all the deadlifting variations that I'm doing. I'm really attacking that posterior chain lately. So this probably wasn't a good idea to do this day. But to save the workout, another great variation lift that you can do if you have a log is to do the log incline bench press. The log incline bench press is probably one of my favorite exercises to do. And really there's 2 reasons why I'm doing it. The first is you're able to overload the weight. So now instead of trying to clean it and press it overhead, all you have to do is just roll it up into that incline position, and then you can actually press more weight because you're using more muscles and you've got a bench to stabilize it. And the second reason that I'm doing it is to get more practice on the log, because that log wiggles and wobbles when you try to lock it out. And so the more practice that you have using that implement at lockout helps a lot. So in this case, instead of trying to do the clean and lowering the weight and doing more volume, I thought, why not overload the movement? That seemed like a better option. And then do some heavy bench pressing with it. And I was very happy because 245, I think I only got for 3 last time, and I did less weight on the log. So this ended up being a fantastic training session to do. And I'm glad that I actually did this in order to save the workout. Now, this movement alone actually will not get you better at doing the log clean and press. You're going to actually have to practice being very efficient in the clean, because if you're very efficient in the clean and you're a strong overhead presser, then you should do okay, even though it is awkward and heavy. But being in this position and doing this variation lift helps a lot if you're doing it in conjunction with the log clean and press, because the log clean and press is really a very technical movement with a lot of shoulder power. And this movement, as you can see, it's more of a roll it up and much more efficiently on the clean, just because that bench is there. And then you're really working your chest, your triceps, and your shoulders. And you're getting like a 3-inch deficit as well. So it's not really as effective as using a barbell or like a multi-grip bar, but it still has its purpose. So you can still do it and it'll carry over into the log clean and press, but you're gonna actually have to do the log clean and press in order for this movement to actually work, if that makes any sense at all. Now for the giant assistance set, I was doing the seated dumbbell press. And if you watch my channel long enough, you know that I really point that my progress has gotten a lot better by doing this particular movement. Most strongmen do this movement and they have tremendous overhead pushing press. So this is something that I like to do and throw in very frequently. And I was maintaining the same giant set format, except I was doing the polyp press. And I was doing a static hold where I'd hold it for like 5 seconds and then I would retract it. And this is just to really hit your obliques in a different way. Since I did all those windmills, my obliques were sore, so why not throw a different exercise at those obliques to finish them off? And I continued to do my running as well, because again, I was trying to target 1 mile by the time I was done lifting. And since the seated press was going super well and I didn't hit the number that I wanted to hit on the log today because I was feeling those cramps in my hamstrings, I really thought I'm going to push my shoulders beyond what I think they can do. So typically the plan was to hit 225 on the log or 235, whichever one I felt good on. And since I didn't do it because I couldn't do the clean due to the hamstring, I was like, you know what, I'm going to push on these dumbbells. So this is the most amount of weight that I was able to do since I've had my surgery. So this is actually going to be 8 repetitions with those 85-pound dumbbells. And I was super excited about this, especially because I went heavier on the log and hit my 6 reps, and then I was doing 8 reps here. So this turned out to be a fantastic day, and I couldn't be happier. So check mark the 85s have been used. That made me very happy that I've come this far from my surgery. Now for the giant accessory set, I was doing the log overhead tricep extension, where I just bring the log back and really try to hit those tris. Since the log was already out there, it just kind of made sense. I did 10 reps total, but I sped it up. Then what I'm going to do is move that log and manipulate it to get into a nice firm position so I can do some tricep push-ups on it, where I bring my hands closer together and I really try to hit those triceps a little bit more efficiently. And then I would gingerly walk over and do my side delt raises with the band, and then finished off with the face pulls that I love to do ever so much to keep myself nice and balanced all around. Well, when I started this video, it was a gloomy and cold morning, and now the sun is out and it is incredibly hot, so I wore sweatpants for nothing. Although I wanted to go a little bit higher on the log today, I'm really glad that I listened to my body, and when I started to get that cramp in my right hamstring, I knew that doing the clean was not a good idea, so I switched over to different exercises so I could still maximize my workout without injuring myself. Hope everybody learned something new. Thanks for joining me today in the backyard where it's now sunny and bright. I'll see you next time. Thank you.